We're always trying to share financial tips to help you. Today we're going to talk about prosperity and wealth. And we welcome Richmond money expert J.B. Bryan back to our live show. Good to see you again.
It's good to be here.
Let's talk about prosperity and wealth, something I know very little about.
You know a lot about it.
It's not always equal. A lot of money doesn't equal wealth. Does that mean?
Income. Okay,
Yeah.
income does not. Yeah, a higher income does not always equal wealth. That's why you're like, that makes no sense to me, right?
Yeah.
But
well, economics
it's true.
confuses me anyway. That's why you're here. So,
No,
yeah.
it's true that we find in the survey, and what happened, the company put together this Prosperity Now and the Institute for Policy. They put together a report, and they discovered that when we look at America and how we're doing, we really should look at wealth, not just income, because you can make a lot of income and still have a low wealth score. Or low wealth amount.
Is that the old saying that you live to what you make, and so therefore you're not saving anything, and you're really not getting ahead because you spend everything you make?
That's right, because even if you're taking your income and you're purchasing, say you purchased a home, and you purchased a home, people think that because they have this big asset that increased their wealth. But your wealth is actually what you own of that home. So if the home value is not increasing, then you have no ownership in it. You actually just have a loan. You have this loan that may equal the amount of
of course I'm wealthy and I paid cash for it.
If you paid, then that's real wealth. That's right. So your wealth.
That ain't happening.
That's right. Your wealth is your assets minus your liabilities, and you want that to be a positive number. So in the study, they were showing that racial minorities actually there's a huge wealth gap that they wanted to bring to America's attention, that racial minorities have a much lower wealth number, almost 8 times lower than the average majority of Americans. And so when they compared the numbers, I said, wow, this is interesting, because even though there's this big wealth gap, in my opinion, all of America is doing poorly when it comes to the wealth numbers. The majority of each race group, actually the majority of the persons were found in the asset poor working class group. So even though, we see that our racial minorities, that we are doing poorly, that America overall, since 2007, there has not been a recovery.
They're doing poorly, but we're all doing poorly. And they're doing more poorly.
Yes,
if that's even English at all.
Yes. And there's ways to, things that we need to focus on, key areas, retirement overall. Unfortunately, racial minorities, we are not saving enough for retirement. But again, I noticed that all Americans are not saving enough for retirement.
Speaking of not saving, and I'm going to throw you a little curveball.
Yes.
In the news today, there's talk of really lowering how much we can put in our 401k, which, again, I don't know anything about economics, but
good question.
That seems counterproductive to what you're talking about.
Will that make our wealth numbers worse? No, it should not make our wealth numbers worse, because we still should save what
should.
What it
should.
And because under the existing situation, under these existing laws, we're still not saving enough. So that's not, the problem is not that this tax incentive will be lost, because the majority of people are not able to take full advantage of the $18,000 that they can put away anyway. Okay. So the challenge is much bigger than that. So when you see that the majority of people, when we're looking at middle class people, the majority of them, of all people, are having to get loans in order to get educated. So as long as you're carrying a student loan balance or a mortgage balance, all of these things take away from your wealth. But to your point about retirement savings, that there are people who do participate because of the tax incentive of being able to save money pre-tax. And that's what they're considering changing, is that can you actually delay paying
because you don't pay the taxes until you actually start using it.
That's right.
Isn't the Roth, you pay the taxes on that?
That's right.
Okay.
So it might have more people move towards a Roth where you're not paying taxes on the earnings. So you pay your income taxes, so that helps Congress, or that helps our government still accumulate income from the taxes from our income. But if you save that after tax money, then you're not paying taxes on the earnings. And if you use it for retirement the way it's designed, then you're going to be able to take the money out tax free. So there always will be alternatives. As I said to you, if they do this, it means that having good financial advice, having this segment on the show becomes even more important.
This is all based on helping you out.
It's all about me.
It'll be great for JB.
But there always will be tax strategies. There always will be ways. But I do want to bring home the fact that the study did bring out that there is a gap for racial minorities are struggling, but we also want to figure out a way that we can encourage all Americans to move up, to move higher, to save more, and to realize that we do need to encourage more home owning versus just home buying, and a movement towards so much debt, and a movement away from just buying more consumerism, but to avoid just buying and invest more and spend less on just things.
We're going to stop there. Invest more, spend less.
That's right.
All right. As always, great information from our friend JB, and we actually got her on the hot topic this morning. JB offers money seminars every Wednesday at noon and Sundays at 3 p.m. for business owners. The workshops are free, but pre-registration is required. We'll put a link to more information on our website, WTVR.com/VTM. Stay tuned. Virginia This Morning returns after a quick break.